Encyclopedia Britannica films. This is gonna be something great.
In spite of what the graduation speakers say every spring, our town's pretty average. It goes for our seats, too. Out of this class of 40, just because it is average, 2 of these boys and girls will spend some part of their lives in a mental institution. My job is to try to keep the people around here healthy, and most of them are. Of course,
At least 2 men
nobody's
and
health
2
is ever
women
perfect.
will spend
Jim
some
Anderson
time
has
in
a
a
bad
mental
ear.
hospital.
That doesn't keep him from playing on the football team. County champions last year, too. Frank White is nearsighted, but his glasses take care of that.
He shot a candle.
Dorothy Westerly has a tooth that needs fixing, but she's in good health, I'd say. Mighty good health. They've all learned habits of good living
What the fuck?
that have helped them stay physically healthy. Habits of cleanliness, good diet, exercise, and rest. But there's another side to good health, and that's good mental health.
That is true. I
Comes
agree with
naturally
that.
to most people. Parents who are mentally healthy bring up their children to be mentally healthy, too.
That's not true, actually.
Take Tommy Clark there. He learned the
Sometimes
first
kids
rule
can
for good
struggle
mental health a
even if their
long
parents
time
are
ago.
very good
About
parents.
not bottling up his emotions. Now, when he works up a head of steam, he puts it to work in a useful way instead of holding it inside. When you try to do that, it's bound to come out in some unpleasant way.
Okay, but like you
Tommy
can't
learned
always
that
put it to
some
use,
years
and
back,
sometimes
just
that's
after
not
his
the way
younger
it works.
brother was born.
Come on, Jimmy. Have some. Come on. Tommy, eat your meat. You haven't eaten a bite all day. I declare I don't know what's got into you.
You heard your mother, Thomas. Now do as she says.
Finally, his folks sent him to see me. There wasn't anything physically wrong with him that I could find, so I began to talk with him.
Maybe he just has
You've got
depression.
something on your mind, Tommy. Why don't you talk about it?
Well,
We all have our problems, Tommy.
but I can talk about it.
That
Of
is the
course you can.
biggest crime I've ever seen in my life.
You know something? The more you talk about your problems, the easier they are to solve. It's
His little gasping.
bottling things up inside is bad. When you feel something, if you're mad or afraid or worried, you've got to let it out or it'll come out some other way. Like you losing weight and not sleeping. Now, what is it, son?
Gosh, Dr. Martinson, this may sound kind of funny to you.
No, it won't.
I don't think my folks want me anymore. They're planning to get rid of me.
What makes you think that, son?
Gosh,
I
this
heard
is
them
gonna
say so
sound
one night.
funny.
They thought I was asleep. Ever since Jimmy was born,
Well, it wasn't easy to
I
prove to
shouldn't
Tommy that he was wrong.
Be laughing when
As
he's
in
crying,
so many
but
cases
like,
like this, his parents were partly to blame. The new baby was taking more of their attention than they realized. I got a chance to talk to Tommy's mother about it, and it turned out that they'd been talking about sending Tommy to camp for the summer, and he'd misunderstood them. Well, we finally got it straightened out. But it taught Tommy a lesson that many people don't learn so quickly.
I feel like it's gonna be bad.
About not bottling up his emotion. He learned that it could be easy to talk to his folks and that he didn't have to hide his love for them.
Good night, Mom.
Good night, Tommy.
Well, that is quite a few years ago. Tom's graduating today. That #1 rule for good mental health, don't bottle up your emotions, has helped him through many a tough spot. Of course, we're talking
I mean,
about
like, it's
some
true,
of the
don't bottle
simple
up your
rules for
emotions, but like,
staying
there's
in
more
good
to
mental
it
health.
than that.
And that brings us to the second rule, which is respecting yourself.
Okay.
Sounds easy, doesn't it? But look what happened to Bruce Matthews. He went
It
out
looks
to
like
the
he's
tennis
giving
team
the
a couple of years
speech
ago, and while he had a lot to
to
learn,
everyone.
he had the makings of a fine player, but he wasn't satisfied
kids
with
are in the
slow,
audience.
steady improvement. Oh, he expected himself to be perfect right from the start. Missing a point would make him boil over at himself. Well, the coach finally caught on to what Bruce was doing to himself with his demand for perfection.
Sure, I think it's fine to keep wanting to improve. I understand that, but I think you're going at it the wrong way.
How do you mean?
I think you're going in
Did
the
you ever
wrong
stop
way.
to think how good your game really is?
Yeah.
What is that?
We're missing that last
tennis
point.
stick?
That's just what I'm getting at. You're worrying too much about the game and you don't enjoy it.
But, gee, Coach, I know I can do better.
Sure you can, but the point is you shouldn't let yourself get mad every time you miss a point. Why, even the world's champion can't make every point. You can't
Serena
be
Williams
perfect.
doesn't always
You've got to
win.
learn to get more pleasure out of this game. So take yourself as you are, and instead of expecting yourself to be perfect.
That's actually good
It
advice.
took a while for Bruce to get what the coach was driving at.
Like, you're never going to be perfect,
But
so
little
why
by
bother
little,
trying?
Without letting up one bit on trying to improve his game, he learned to enjoy his skill rather than fret over his occasional misses. Yes, he's learning that second important habit for keeping in good health. Good mental health, I mean. The habit of feeling right about himself.
Yes, be confident in yourself.
Along with that goes
Oh,
a
and then
third
girls will
important
like you and
habit.
clap at you.
Feeling right about other people, too. That means getting along with others, having fun with them,
Oh,
being
she's
part
really
of the group.
excited.
There's no room for bashfulness in good mental health. To look at Otto Markel there, you'd never guess what he was like a year ago. For some reason or other, he was convinced that people just didn't like him much. He never tried to make friends or to be one of the bunch. It was Miss Reinert who came to Otto's rescue.
I think you'd enjoy getting into one of the school clubs.
I don't know. I really don't have any time.
I hear they're planning to organize a camera club. You could help with that.
I'm not very good with my camera. I don't think they'd want me in the club.
Of course
I'm
they
sorry, this
would.
acting is
The more the better when you're
so high
organizing a
quality.
club.
Gosh, Miss Reinert.
You're certainly doing well in
Gosh,
chemistry.
Miss
and
Reinert.
that's important in photography.
I don't know. Chemistry's different from photography.
I think you'll find they'd welcome a good chemist like you in the camera club.
I mean,
But you'll
it's
have to
true
do
that
one
they're
thing.
different.
What's that?
I'm realizing
Offer to
now
help.
digital is
Do all
different.
you can to help get the club organized. Get some other students to join.
Oh, I couldn't do that.
Of course you can.
Oh, I
and
couldn't
you'll
do
find
that.
that they'll like you as much as you like them.
I knew about Otto's problem because his parents had come to see me about the same thing. Of course, they had to share the responsibility for Otto's bashfulness.
What do you mean, George? I don't quite get what you're driving at.
No? Well, I'll tell you, Art. I've been watching you with that kid a long time. You're demanding too much from him.
That's not creepy.
Nobody can be
I've been
perfect, so
watching
don't
you
ride him so
a
hard. When he
long
does
time.
something you don't like, remember he's a person in his own right. His way may be just as good as your way.
I do think you've been hard on him at times, Arthur.
Oh, but he doesn't toe the line the way he should. He has advantages I never had when I was a boy. He has an opportunity
Let me just
to amount
perch
to
on
something.
this. Just
Let him do it his own way. You've got him feeling now he isn't as good as the next fella. That's why he hesitates to make friends.
that fade
In
out.
Otto's case, as in many others I've known, talking with the parents was important in helping to get things straightened out. He's learning the third basic rule for good mental health: feeling right about other people. That means that in any normal group of people, there is a feeling
I feel like
of
that goes
give
with
and
don't judge
take.
yourself.
There's an
Like, be
interest in
confident.
the group as a whole. There's no distrust or dislike of others just because they happen to be different. Well, there's one more rule for good mental health.
Ooh, another one.
I see that Nancy's finally learned it well enough to get her diploma. That's the habit of doing something about a problem as soon as it comes up.
Class dismissed. Gosh, what I don't know about the Civil War period. I haven't cracked a page in 2 weeks.
I'm gonna have to dig into this one, too. Come on over to my house tonight. Let's study it together.
Oh, I just dread getting into it. Let's put it off till tomorrow.
Well, all right.
I mean,
Tomorrow
me.
never came for Nancy. That
It's
quiz
literally
day found
everyone
her
in college.
completely
We're like,
unprepared.
Not today.
But Barbara had
No,
faced
that's
up
not
to
true.
that
We do
quiz the
stuff.
day it was announced.
Oh, Jay, I've been so worried about this exam. I just can't sleep. Oh, I hope I pass.
There's no point in worrying about it now.
Nancy not only had double trouble with that quiz, she had triple trouble. Before, during, and after. If she'd got busy just as soon as it was announced, instead of just worrying about it, it would have been a lot easier for her.
It would also be a lot easier if you did the test on the
here
desk
are learning some of the
instead
basic
of on the
rules for
books.
staying in good mental health. First rule is, don't bottle up your emotions like love, fear, anger. Express them naturally. Of course, emotions like anger have to be expressed with consideration for others. Above all, don't carry a grudge. Get it off your chest.
That's what we
Second
call
rule
master
is to
handshake.
respect your own abilities. Always try to improve, but remember that you're human. The third rule is to respect others. Treat them as friends.
Treat
And
others
finally,
the way you
when
want
a
to be
problem
treated.
shows up,
The
face
golden
it at
rule.
once, calmly, reasonably, and honestly. And remember that one of the best rules for good mental health is talking out your troubles and problems with someone whose opinion you respect.
That
your
is true.
Parents,
Always talk
your
to people.
family doctor,
Therapy.
your school
So
teacher
great.
or advisor. Your
That sounded
clergyman may be the
sarcastic, but
right
like
person
actually
to
I love
talk
therapy.
to on many things. Whoever it may be, talking is one of the best tonics there is for good mental health. Another good tonic is an interesting hobby. Gives you a way to relax.
Another good tonic
chance
is
to accomplish
drugs.
something you can be proud of. Well, those are some of the rules
Like
for staying in
medication,
good
not
mental health.
like
Of course, they're just the
meth.
ABCs of a subject big enough to fill whole libraries. But as more and more folks
for the
get to
record.
know these ABCs and follow them, they're going to be able to look at a group like this someday and feel that they have a greater chance than ever for the kind of happy, useful life which will make our world a better place to live in.
That's true. It will make our world better if everyone is more kind to themselves. I don't agree with everything in this video in that I think it's a lot harder than this random man, George, seems to be making it out to be. It's not that simple, and there's a biological aspect. I know I couldn't have fixed my problems with just these steps, but I do think it's helpful to be confident in yourself and not try to be perfect, and express your emotions. I'm still working on that. And to find friends. All that stuff is really important. It's just not the end-all be-all of it.